Dr. Joshua Krasna is a Middle East expert from the Moshe Dayan Center at Tel Aviv University, and he joins us now to break down these peace deals. Hi, Doctor. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So I want to start with Morocco. First of all, how different is Morocco from the other countries in the Abraham Accords?
So it's similar in a lot of ways and a little different in other ways. So Morocco is certainly part of the group with Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, Bahrain, Egypt, which are considered as a camp that's functioning in the Arab world since already 2013, since the Egyptian counter-revolution and even before, and is very much a partner of those countries. But it is a little bit different. It doesn't have the same policy towards the Yemeni crisis, doesn't have the same policy towards Qatar, and it is, in fact, on the other side of the Middle East from those countries, and is less involved in some of the more crucial, it's less involved and less central in some of the more crucial issues of the Middle East. It did have problems with Iran 2 years ago and broke its diplomatic relations with Iran in May 2018, but since then is not really very heavily engaged on the Iranian issue, which is the main issue, I think, that brought the UAE, Saudi Arabia, and Bahrain closer to Israel.
Obviously, it's a little bit of an awkward time in terms of U.S. politics. So what is the time frame for Morocco to actually sign the deal? Is it going to be before or after Biden takes office?
So I don't think that for Morocco it's an awkward time at all. I think for Morocco it's a great time. In fact, one of the interesting things when we're looking at this deal is how still open a lot of the things are. When you talk about signing an agreement, so signing an agreement on what? Right now, they're only discussing reopening the liaison offices that they had in the past and beginning discussions on the opening of embassies in the future. But there doesn't seem to be certainly hasn't been published any timeline on that. And it seems that the Moroccan side, at least, is sort of playing down the immediate rush to open embassies, for instance.
Right. So what exactly is the significance of this deal happening now, even though there was, obviously a certain level of relations before they announced it?
Yes. So there's actually quite good relations between Israel and Morocco for many years. In the 1960s, began good intelligence and security cooperation, which has lasted throughout the years. There are 50,000 Israeli tourists who travel every year, not by direct flights, but usually through France. And the two countries really have very few issues that they disagree strongly on. There are reports that Israel sold some UAVs, some drones in the past few years to Morocco. From the point of view of Morocco, the timing, of course, now is great because the Trump administration gave them something that they've been hoping to get from American administrations. And in fact, the United States is the only major country in the world that's recognized the Moroccan claim to Western Sahara. So that's a very important thing that they got there. And there's also now talk about $3 billion in deals, that the United States government is going to be guaranteeing from the International Development Finance Cooperation, and apparently talks about a deal of $1 billion worth of American military drones that are going to be sold to Morocco, or at the deal to sell them to Morocco will be presented to Congress in the next few days.
Sir, we had another surprising announcement of a normalization deal over the weekend. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So not too much, because I'm an expert on the Middle East, and the Bhutan deal is sort of, it's being packaged in the same package.
Sure.
Because for various political reasons, certainly political reasons in Israel, I think they want to show that there's this sort of incredible wave of normalizations. And it's true. I mean, over the past few years, there's been a lot of normalizations in Africa, a lot of renewal of diplomatic relations in Africa. But of course, Bhutan is not at all in the same group as the other countries in terms of it's not a Muslim country. It's not a country that's ever been, that's ever had poor relations with Israel. It's not a country which affects the strategic balance in the Middle East at all, unlike almost all of the other countries that are being discussed here. So it comes at the same time. So therefore, politically, it's very useful for the current government in Israel.
Right, but this is not actually considered. It's not
involvement.
actually considered a part of the Abraham Accords, correct?
Oh, it has nothing to do with the Abraham
Right.
Accords except for timing.
Okay, thank you for all this clarification, Dr. Krasna. We really appreciate it. Have a great day.
Okay, you too.